I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Global Book Network, we're exploring the extraordinary life of Edwin Jay Edwards, is told in a wonderful book, a powerful book. It is called Fields of Faith, The Remarkable Journey of Edwin Jay Edwards. This is a powerful story, a story of trials, triumphs, and unwavering faith in the face of adversity. Through Jay's remarkable journey, we'll discover how God's grace can transform lives and how the human spirit endures, even in the toughest of circumstances. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today on GBN. We thank the team at Atticus Publishing for helping us put him in the GBN today. To support authors like him by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing his amazing book. The links are below this interview. Edwin, thank you so much for being our guest here today on GBN.
My pleasure.
Tell us a little bit about why you decided to write this book, Fields of Faith.
Yes, I had, or I have been through so much. Now there are so many people that are looking for hope and looking for answers, and that really want to connect. And of course, in the book, it will tell it. I've been through a motorcycle accident, cancer, a stroke, paralyzed, and I was always told behind each one that I'm done, and that I would not. I am a musician. I would never play again, and all of these things. And I wrote this book because I wanted people to know that even in the midst of trials and tribulations, there's hope, and you can still have joy, and that we still have a mission to accomplish. And I refused to give up and roll over because of what I was told that I would not be and could not do.
Where did you find that strength to keep on going, even when told this is the end, you can't do it, it's over, pack it up? How did you find the strength to keep on going?
I must admit that my faith in Jesus Christ and my parents taught us at an early age to have faith and perseverance. And we were always taught that all things are possible. And in church, in Sunday school, my parents were devout Christians, and they also were public servants. They gave their lives to helping others, and it transcended into my life and my faith, but most of all from God and from having faith. And I know that I know that I know that my strength comes through my faith in God and his deliverances. I've been delivered every time when I was supposed to not be able to get up, and after being paralyzed in a wheelchair, couldn't move a muscle, couldn't move my hands, couldn't move my legs, couldn't talk, and in the hospital for a whole year with cancer. And after that, even as recent as 2020, a major stroke, could not talk, could not use my hands. And I refused to believe that I would not be back. And if you believe and you try and you trust, there's always hope.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's the story of Jesus. It's a redemption story. He
Yes.
rose from the dead. He
Yes.
suffered, died, and was buried and rose again in order to save us. It's such a beautiful story. It's such a beautiful fact. It gives us such great hope and gives us great resilience, particularly if you tap into your love of Jesus and
Yes.
Christianity. What
Yes.
was your biggest challenge? When was the time where your faith was almost shaken to say that, oh my God, I can't believe I'm going through this? Was there one of and the motorcycle accident, the cancer, whatever it might be, was there one thing that was really, really hard?
Well, I think the hardest, and I shouldn't say hardest because each one of them presented their challenges, but I would say the motorcycle accident because it was the most severe, I would think. And when you can't move a baby finger, and when you can't move nothing, you sit there like a vegetable, and you're in therapy in a rehab center all day, every day in therapy, and you're laying out on a mat in the floor, and the therapist tell you that you won't recover from this as far as being a musician. I'm a gospel saxophonist, and I am playing now, and I have a CD out of when I did the CD while I was in the hospital with cancer, and I had a chemo running through my jugular vein, and I did 3 concerts in the hospital for the other patients while on chemo, standing there with an IV pole by me, and so it's just the will and the trust that and the belief that you still can recover and do all things through Christ that strengthens me.
Absolutely. It's amazing. It's an amazing recovery, an amazing comeback, amazing resilience you show. And a lot of suffering goes on too, obviously, when
Yeah.
you're going through these challenges in life,
Yeah.
because it's all uncomfortable. It
Right.
all hurts. You're constantly getting poked and prodded and pinched and
Yes.
forced to work through pain. And that's where faith comes in for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Tell us what role community and support from loved ones play in your life and in your story and in your recovery and in your comeback.
You know, that is an awesome question because if it had not been for family, friends, community, it would have been so difficult. And I'm not trying to put a feather in my cap, but I would like to say because of my community service and I had played in churches everywhere in our area and across the United States, and I'd made many friends. I am grown, or shall I say, I grew up on a farm, and we were larger black farmers in our community, and other farmers could not and did not have the equipment to get their crop out and stuff, and we would take our machinery and get their crop out. And when another farmer's equipment would break, I would weld it and fix it. And I never charged a dime for fixing other people's equipment. Never charged. And when I was down, they came to my rescue.
Wonderful. Wonderful. It's amazing. You put that love, you put that commitment, you put that trust out there in the community. And when
Yes,
your time came, when you were in a
yes,
time of need, they
yes,
came around for you, which is absolutely
yes.
wonderful. Why did you call the book Fields of Faith?
Because, as I said, I was a farmer.
Yeah.
And in farming, we have the field, the big fields and stuff.
Mhm.
And if you don't have faith, you can't farm because uh, you have to depend on the Lord for weather, the weather conditions. You depend on the Lord for rain. If it's too hot or if it's too cold, you don't have a productive season. And so fields of faith, I'm as it relates to life, we're in fields and we have to have faith just as in farming. And so I tried to tie the two together because I was actually born and raised having to live by faith through farming and through the farming of people and souls. I'm a minister as well. So you have to have faith in the field of saving souls and relating to people as well.
Amazing, amazing. Tell me a little bit about your creative life. You've written this book. Are you planning to write others? I know you're a musician as well, and you've got a CD out. Tell us a little bit about that.
I do have ideas about another book as far as it relates. My whole goal now is to relate to people and to let people know that there is hope. But the one thing I want to put a pin in is love and serving others. Even in my book, and I talk about the things I've done to help people, not to for self-gratification, but to let people know that you should get a joy out of helping people. You know, I pick case in point, I picked a guy up on the side of the road one night, 0 degrees. He was 40 miles away from another town. And I went back to pick him up. And at the time, my wife said, "What are you doing?" I said, "This guy's going to die here tonight." I would turn around and went back to pick this guy up. He opened the door and recognized me. It was a high school student that I had not seen in 30 years. And he said, he called me and he said, "Edwin?" And I said, by him being in the dark, he told me his name. I said, "You got to be kidding." And it was one of my, and the story goes on to where he later was at a church, and he was telling my sons about this guy that saved his life. And so he never called my name. So my son will always talk about this guy that they played golf with that was so good. And I went to their church one time, and this guy told my sons, "Let me show you the guy that saved my life. He's here at church today." And they said, "You gotta be kidding, that's my dad." And they never knew the guy he was talking about was their dad. But just to show you how love goes in a circle and how you never know where the Bible put it like this. You know, you never know how you or who you're with, and I'm paraphrasing, and it talks about how you never know when you're entertaining angels unaware.
Amazing. That is an amazing story, and a wonderful act of kindness and charity on your part. And then it turned out to be someone you had a connection with. I think that is an incredible
And
story.
it's happened a few more times in the book. And I won't elaborate right now, but you got to read the book.
Absolutely. And the name of the book is called Fields of Faith, The Remarkable Journey of Edwin Jay Edwards. It is a powerful story of trials, triumphs, and unwavering faith in the
Yes.
face of adversity. Through Jay's remarkable journey, you will discover how God's grace can transform lives and how the human spirit endures even under the most difficult challenges. Edwin,
And
thank you so much.
it, if I may say, you can listen to my gospel CD on saxophone on any music outlet. Just look up Edwin J. Edwards, How Sweet the Sound. And I did that CD while I was on chemo and had cancer, but I wanted to do that just show people how even in the midst of trials and tribulations, we still can make a difference.
Well, that's going on my playlist for sure. Edwin Jay Edwards, How Sweet the Sound. I
Yes.
can't wait to hear it because that's one of my favorite genres of music, of course. Thank you so much for joining me here today, Edwin.
Thank you.
Thank you. To the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time.